COVID-19 cases continue to decline, we take a look at what's being done to help the homeless during the pandemic.
Plus the latest on a campaign push aimed at bringing more public funding to Latino communities.
And later this half hour on Break It Down, how to incorporate mindfulness into the workplace.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm SEDONA Meadows.
And I'm Ivory Ward. Thank you for joining us.
More people in the U.S. are now fully vaccinated against COVID-19 than people who have had the disease since the pandemic began. That's according to new data from the CDC, and here in Arizona, the daily coronavirus case update has remained below 1,000 for 3 consecutive days, for the first time since October. And in the midst of all the progress being made is Circle the City, a health center designed to provide individuals experiencing homelessness with medical care. Cronkite News reporter Delaney White spoke to a former patient who is making a difference after recovering.
A rough time in his life. They provided him with the medical care he needed and helped him get back on his feet. He is now using his talents to show the kindness he received at Circle the City to others.
Creativity, often born out of necessity, led Michael Stone to discover his artistic talent on his way to prison. After serving his time, he went to Arizona seeking sobriety.
You know, a lot of people slam the doors on you. And it's like, because you're homeless, you don't have nothing, you smell, you look funny.
Michael Stone spent 7 years on the streets while fighting to stay sober. After contracting MRSA, he landed at Circle the City and his life changed.
Something so basic can mean so much.
Circle the City's mission is to provide health care to individuals experiencing homelessness. For Michael, that meant treating his MRSA infection and helping him maintain sobriety. Later on, they also helped him recover from COVID-19.
Like, it's something that's so hard because you think they're going to want something in return. All they want is the kindness. It's just kindness. And it blows me away just thinking that all they have to do is accept. Just accept it. It's boy, I don't know, I just get so overwhelmed by the things that, you know, I don't have much, but what I have is mine, you know? And it's like, now it's time for me to do what I can do for society.
Michael credits the kind, caring atmosphere at Circle the City for helping him heal. And now he is working to extend that kindness to others through rose making.
There's still things I deal with, and there'll always be, but the more I surround myself with positive, the more positive I feel inside, the more positive I can throw out.
We are not healing the problem of homelessness with one simple solution. We're healing homelessness one individual at a time. And Michael is the perfect example of that, in how we offered him those opportunities. He took those opportunities and he's making the difference.
Marty Hames, a Circle the City employee, is just one of many individuals who helped Michael get back on his feet. In February, Michael moved into his first apartment in 7 years. At Circle the City, they create a family atmosphere to nurture their patients, including making holidays enjoyable.
It's like being back home with parents. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Really. Yeah.
Michael's mission is simple: to bring happiness to others.
It takes you away from whatever's there. Life is not easy. This life is not easy. I can't say it sucks, but it's getting better, you know? And it's just that 1 minute that's only to take away all the problems.
Shining a light even during the darkest of times.
Michael hopes to teach classes on rose making someday. In February, he moved into his first apartment in 7 years. In the Broadcast Center, Delaney White, Cronkite News.
Governor Doug Ducey and the state's top health officials say they're sorry people have been struggling to make vaccine appointments, and they're working to make it easy as possible for people to get inoculated. In a telephone town hall yesterday, Ducey and Dr. Kara Chris issued an apology to a man who said that vaccine registration has been a real disaster. Ducey acknowledged it's been a, quote, bumpy time, but said he's been working to increase computer capacity and build out a massive vaccination center at the Arizona Cardinal Stadium. In response to callers who expressed concern about the vaccine making them sick, Chris emphasized that the vaccine cannot give anyone the virus. Instead, she says, it teaches the immune system how to respond to it. Ducey also urges all listeners on the call to please get the vaccine when it's their turn.
This week marks 1 year since the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a global pandemic. As cases continue to go down nationwide, Dr. Anthony Fauci is giving credit to scientific advances that allowed us to have multiple highly effective vaccines.
We're not out of the woods yet, even though we really want to be, and we're going in that direction. But if you look now, even every day, although the infections are coming down, it's kind of plateauing a bit. Keep going in the right direction. Keep making step by step towards some form of normality, but it's got to be slow and prudent.
Fauci also says with more and more people getting vaccinated daily, he predicts that in the coming weeks, coronavirus safety guidelines will begin to become more flexible.
Well, it's official. Congress have passed the $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill. President Biden is expected to sign the bill into law at the White House on Friday. The relief bill consists of $1,400 direct checks for individuals making less than $7,500 a year, and married couples making less than $150,000 a year. $300 a week unemployment assistance, assistance for small businesses, and funding for state and local governments, schools, and vaccines, of course. Not everyone's happy the relief package is so broad and expensive. The White House says stimulus checks should start arriving this month, with electronic payments and hitting bank accounts first.
Meanwhile, President Biden is also facing a growing crisis on the southern U.S. border and a surge in migrant crossings. U.S. authorities have arrested and encountered more than 100,000 migrants in the 4 weeks before March 3rd, the highest levels for that same time period in at least 5 years. And new data reviewed by CNN shows there are more than 3,400 unaccompanied children in the custody of Customs and Border Protection. But the Biden administration has not classified the situation as a crisis, saying it's trying to implement a much more humanitarian immigration policy compared to the 4 years of the Trump administration.
Checking in with local advocacy groups can be an effective way to determine the needs of local population. Organizations like Lucha and One Arizona emphasize the concern that Latino communities have. And now they're saying they're in need of more public funding and less tax cuts for the wealthy. Cronkite News reporter Kelly Donahue has more on the bills these groups are tracking this legislative session and why.
Lucha held its annual lobbying day a bit differently this year. During the virtual press conference, Lucha members raised their recent concerns about paid family leave, affordable housing, and other issues with their legislators. The organization is also pushing a new state legislative advocacy campaign aimed at bringing more public funding to Latino communities.
Local Latino communities are asking for more funding from the state and federal government, particularly in the form of COVID-19 relief, affordable housing, childcare accessibility, and paid family and medical leave. Living United for Change in Arizona hosted its annual lobbying day virtually this year and gave its members an opportunity to discuss these concerns with their legislators.
But imagine being a kid, a minor, someone that has a future going for them, that wants to join college, and they have to take on the responsibilities of what it is to be an adult.
Lucha teamed up with the Arizona Center for Economic Progress and One Arizona to create a proactive revenue campaign called People First Economy, which is aiming to stop cuts to public services and end tax breaks for the wealthy.
It's intended to advocate for state legislative change, to invest in the community that needs help, and that means passing policies that will improve the lives of real people who have been struggling for decades.
The three organizations have their eyes on a few tax cut bills that could soon become law, and which they say could hurt hard-working Latino families the most. This legislative session, they also hope to tackle three main issues that have been intensified during the pandemic: a lack of paid family and medical leave, affordable and accessible childcare, especially for those who work non-traditional hours, and affordable housing. Lucha is working to address these concerns by backing legislative bills like House Bill 2858, which would provide Arizonans 24 weeks of paid leave each year. Lucha co-executive director Alejandra Gomez said paid leave is a major need within local communities.
Being able to take time off and from work and not feel that, you know, someone is going to lose their job or not have resources to be able to sustain themselves if someone gets sick or there's a new baby on the way.
The coalition wants to find solutions that are inclusive of all Arizonans, especially those living in Latino, Native, and rural areas.
While these organizations have several goals they're looking to achieve this legislative session, one mission rises above the rest: to stop putting the wants of the state's wealthiest above the needs of Arizona families. Lucha says that reinvesting in local communities is the way to do it. In the newsroom, Kelly Donahue, Cronkite News.
It's been sunny and clear today here in Phoenix, but it looks like we'll be cooling down a little bit over the next few days as storms roll in. Let's go to Faith Abercrombie for the forecast. Faith?
Well, we are staying windy and we are staying cool here in Arizona. Watch how these wind speeds sort of fluctuate as we go into the rest of our week and even weekend. But as these wind speeds start to calm down on Saturday, these clouds are here to stay. These clouds are brushing through the valley and they are here to stay for this weekend. Pretty cloudy compared to last weekend. Now jumping into our high temperatures, about 43 degrees up in the Grand Canyon, 42 in Flagstaff, but much warmer here in Phoenix with 68 degrees here in the valley. Now our evening tonight, sun is supposed to set around 6:30. As we jump into springtime, the sun will start setting later and later. About 14-mile-per-hour winds at 6 p.m. But as we go later into the night, those wind speeds will start to calm down. Now looking at our 8-day forecast, tomorrow, those clouds are making an appearance and here to stay for most of the weekend. About 40% chance of rain on Friday with 60-degree temperatures. Some of that rain might go into Saturday, but if we're lucky, here on Sunday, we will have a clear and sunny sky with rising 70-degree temperatures for the beginning of next week, and maybe even 80 degrees on Thursday. For Cronkite Weather, I'm Faith Abercrombie.
Hi, I'm Gareth KWOK. After the break, I'll have your Cronkite Sports Report, including the remarkable way one Valley resident gets his day started. So don't go away.
This month in Passport, your on-demand library of the best of PBS.
Everyone has secrets. Are you protecting someone?
I have no choice.
You do have a choice. You're looking at him.
That's amazing. We could be standing on top of a T-Rex right now.
Women demanded new space and pushed the boundaries of what being a lady means.
These and other shows are available with Passport. Become a member of this PBS station. Sign in and start streaming today.
Here we go. Lights up. Whoa.
As artists, we conduct our educations in public. You can never know whether it's going to be a success. One just has to risk it.
It's you and the work and the place. It's a very particular relationship.
Here's our lens. Tell us what you think.
Friday night at 9 on Arizona PBS.
Hey, I'm Rick Steves. You know, I don't go anywhere without my passport. And now, thanks to PBS Passport, you can travel with me and watch all 10 seasons of Rick Steves Europe and all my travel specials. This exclusive streaming service is just for our members. Not only can you see all my shows, but you can see thousands of hours of your favorite public television shows. Become a member today and get your passport.
Hello and welcome to today's Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Gareth KWOK. GCU basketball had a trio of players recognized. Lope center Ashbourne Midgard won WAC Conference Newcomer of the Year, as well as placing on the All-Defensive Team, All-Newcomer Team, and made First Team All-WAC. Alessandro Laver also made First Team, and Javon Blackshear Jr. made Second Team. Head coach Bryce Drew emphasized the meaning of his players' accomplishments.
Really happy for Ali, you know, being a senior and
And being at GCU for 4 years, being first team all leagues, great accomplishment. Javon's really improved and played key for us down the stretch. So great honor for him being second team. And, Ash is, he's been such a big part of what we've been doing all year.
Imagine hiking up Paestua Peak just to find a Japanese folk music performance. Cronkite News reporters Saran and Raboyne hiked up the mountain to show us what's been happening at sunrise.
At the top of Paestua Peak during sunrise, something amazing happens. Ken Koshio, a Japanese folk artist, has hiked the mountain every day for almost a year to perform a prayer, carrying his taiko drum and instruments on his back. This prayer and ceremony has allowed him to start his day grounded in his culture and spirituality.
When the sun was up, I really feel connecting something, feeling in his soul.
This ceremony has now captured the attention of other hikers. Once people reach the top of the mountain, not only will they find Ken, but they'll find a community.
Here we're waiting for that every morning. I'm waiting to see my friends over here. We're like a small community of family, different languages. We're all coming here to watch Ken and enjoy his spirit.
And while Ken's performance may be based around Japanese culture, everyone watching takes time to reflect upon their own ideals and beliefs.
Maybe what I've been doing inspired them to feel that. So maybe that gives them some kind of feeling.
So when I'm hiking, I'm not at home and he's doing the prayers. In the background, I'm doing prayers myself also.
While people of all cultures can relate to the performance, Ken maintains that it's all for his personal devotion.
Of course, this is basically for myself. And in some way, if I could inspire them, maybe they can inspire other people.
Something that started off as an individual tribute has now grown into a collective celebration of a new day. In Phoenix, Serena Raboyne, Cronkite News.
And lastly, the NFL announced today the salary cap for the upcoming season will be set at $182.5 million. This is a decrease of over $15 million from last year. The Cardinals are expected to have around $15 million in cap space, and with the signing of J.J. Watt, it remains to be seen whom the team will let go. That's all for today's Cronkite Sports Report. I'm GARETH. Back to you, Sedona and Ivory.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us.